Okay, the email after this is going to be funny, but this email is Jeffrey Lang from WrestleMania. Hey guys, I want to ask all three of you about your thoughts about WrestleMania being on multiple nights, which WWE's been doing for a few years. Do you think it's better with more content, or should they switch it back to one night? I think it's oversaturated with forgettable matches. Also, with YouTube getting more strict with their copyright laws, I was wondering if K100 ever got demonetized for DI impersonating Kermit the Frog. Jeffrey, a good bravo. Let's yellow card him.
Yes.
Jeffrey Lang, yellow card.
What's his name? Jeffrey Lang?
Yeah.
I want to point it.
Just
Okay,
inform Mr. Lang of something. It's not an impersonation. Okay,
Joe, I want to point this.
Yes.
Okay, I was listening back to some of our YouTube clips yesterday. I got a rabbit hole. I was just listening to clips in the gym, right? Hughie edited out the name of a dirt sheet that had reported the story. Because I said, like, who reported this? And he played like a sound effect, like I guess when you answer and stuff. And I'm wondering why, like, why he did that, or is it like because if the dirt sheets are reporting the stories, we should be giving them credit for the report. Because if somebody says, so you should actually text Yuji or
I never noticed
ask
that
him why he told the name. Because I noticed it. And I just thought of it because I was going to bring it up if it ever came up. But find out why, because we should be crediting news sources if they are reporting the story. Okay, that's common sense, and like we should be doing that. We shouldn't edit that out, right? Okay, but so I came up with the WrestleMania for 2 nights idea long ago because all these other wrestling companies were coming into WrestleMania weekend and running shows on Saturday night and stuff right before WrestleMania. And I was like, well, they should just go to 2 nights because the show's too long as it is. Divide it up in 2 nights because all the wrestling fans are watching this other content. Why not just watch it? There's common sense. And then this guy thinks it's like an oversaturated. That was a very intelligent business decision.
Right.
Especially since
they did good business both nights.
And they're on the network now. We're not telling people, hey, pay $50 each night, $100. No, you just buy the network. And for March, you're getting 2 shows. You're getting, or April, whatever the month is, April. You're getting 2 straight nights of the best show of the year, and like you probably spike their views and stuff. But yeah, that was just common sense business, and it was funny too. Literally, like 2 years before they did that, I was the one that's saying they should do this. Nobody. How many other people were saying that? Nobody was. Remember, Conan? Nobody was saying that. That was kind of like almost my idea, right?
I'll give you that.
You give me that, right? Yeah. So
I think,
and
it's
I bet
exhausting.
you that's the process. I bet you that's why they did it. It's like, why are we letting all these other companies, people pay to run on Saturday when we can just run on Saturday? Everybody come to our show, right? Right.
It's pretty exhausting, but I understand why they did it. And now it's like I don't know about forgettable matches, because usually they have so many big matches that they do need 2 nights. What I do know is when I was younger, sometimes I can just rattle off random wrestlers. Would remember who was at Mania, who they wrestled and stuff. I don't know what happened in the last 5 years, because it is forgettable. Even though it's a big match at the time, it's just too much. I don't remember.
Plus 2. This is the main reason, right? Is that when they started increasing the length of the shows, you're really running a huge risk at the crowd being dead for your main event. Like you're like just regardless, like you have to book that show perfectly to try to figure out where the crowd's going to be energy wise going into that main event. But when you split the shows up, you don't really have that problem. Like 2.5, 3 hour shows is perfect, So, but a 5.5 hour show, and the main event's going out there, the people just like they've been there for like 7 hours. It's like, come on, right? So, Conan, what's the longest show you've been on before?
Oh, bro, over 5 hours.
Yeah, it's just good, and even the talent is exhausted.
Well, yeah, because you've been there all day. You've been there all day. So it's a TV taping. You might have been there 8 hours before.
Perfect example. you watch professional sports and like UFC and boxing, okay? They show the competitors like showing up like an hour and a half before the show. Like hour and a half, like they're going to be on there in like 2 hours, and like they go and they show up, and like, bro, but think about showing up 6 hours before you're supposed to perform, or 10 or 8, 9 hours, like sometimes that's like,
right.
Yeah, you're right. This is an interesting one. Rick ROH, and this guy's a hater. Okay. Subject. Why is K100 so anti-ROH? Hello, Clay Dog, Joey, and Disco Jobber.
Clay Dog? Wait a minute.
Clay Dog.
For all three names and yellow card, this guy right off the bat.
Joey, and Disco Jobbernetti. Folks call you chumps out all the time for being anti-AEW. But what needs to be addressed is the vitriol and mistruths spread about the Ring of Honor brand. Frankly, Ring of Honor is instrumental to the success of modern-day pro wrestling. Just look around you and you'll know what I mean. Talk about influence. It's time to give Ring of Honor their flowers, K100. I know K100 is busy working on his promotion, CMLL or whatever he's doing, and that's why he's not seeing the reality of the situation. Ring of Honor is not a dead brand. It's the reason why WWE, NXT, and AEW are so successful right now. And every time the Ring of Honor titles are featured on AEW TV, all I hear is negativity from you two, from your troublesome trio. Furthermore, if the wrestling cheeseburger were around in WCW, he would have whooped Disco. Word on your moms. I'm out. And that's how you really keep it 100. Y'all just keep it 50-50. Nah, y'all keep it 33 to third, 33 to third, and 33 to third. What do you think about this comments?
Okay, what's this walking name?
Rick ROH.
Okay, bro, Rick ROH. That's like Harry Ruiz with a #1 AEW fan. Okay, you're obviously a ROH simp, Mark. No problem, bro. I'm a mark for the Celtics, but I wrestled there 2 or 3 times, and I did an angle with Homicide and Cornette. I know very well what ROH is and the plethora of talent that came out of there, whether it was Paul London or AJ or Joe or Punk or Low Key, you know. And yeah, ROH was very important before. It isn't now. It isn't a big deal anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be resuscitated. Give me a good storyline. Give me what good buzz is happening on ROH. I don't know. I'm not even sure who the champion is. Who is it? Who's the champion of ROH? Is it Joe?
He relinquished the belt.
Okay.
Claudio,
like
no, Eddie's the world champion. Yeah.
Yeah, people. I didn't even know that.
It's not on one of the channels. You got to go to.
There's no buzz, bro. Yeah, it used to be great. You know, it isn't anymore, or it isn't right now. What's the problem? That's not
Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. Basically, NXT is a new Ring of Honor. Okay, because Ring of Honor was a feeder program for all guys getting to the main shows. It was like the next. It was like the semi-main event to getting to the main event. If you were a Ring of Honor performer and a top guy in Ring of Honor, those were the guys that WWE was looking, or WCW was looking at. Right.
That was another smart thing WWE did. They were bringing on this indie talent that they noticed were semi-professionals and had a lot of bad habits. They said, you know what, we got to make our own system, polish them up before we bring them to the main. And that was very smart of them, and it's paying dividends. I mean, ROH was the original feeder system, and for a while Evolve was. But anyways, the bottom line is there's no buzz on ROH, no good storylines. They're not doing anything for us, put them over for. So why would we, Mr. ROH?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Rick ROH.
Like I've said before, AEW as a promotion in the TV shows, it's Ring of Honor style matches. Ring of Honor is just redundant at this point because AEW is doing what you would see in Ring of Honor in the past.
All right, so Matt, the next one's from Matt Gagne, and the subject is Disco's bet. He's going to get. We're going to suspend him for misinformation. Okay.
All right.
Good day, K100 crew. I haven't heard if Disco's paid up on his $100 CM Punk bet with Joe. Since Joe is too nervous to bring it up, I thought I would, since we know Disco has reneged on a bet before, like when he didn't wear the bikini on the Jericho cruise. I have a solution to settle this. Joe, would you settle for a complimentary 1-hour visit to the assuming that the lemon pepper dipping sauce is available? Thanks, guys. Much love, Big Matchy. Suspension, let's give him 2 weeks for the snide comment. But if you listen to the show, Matt, I said to Joe, the next time he sends me money for the just keep $100. So I didn't renege on anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate, Joe? Will you confirm that?
I will absolutely confirm that. Yeah.
There we go.
Reneged on my bets.
Yeah, because you didn't win them. Next
Yes,
one's from no, you
Bro,
didn't.
however,
I won the money back.
Joe, do you have the proof here?
I don't have it. No, but
you still haven't, right?
Because it doesn't exist. That's why.
The bets. I got it. The Super Bowl bet.
No,
yeah.
This was recorded. I asked him to check it out. I asked him to have it ready. And again, and as usual, it doesn't happen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll have it
next
for
from John. Next is from John Roddy. Subject is mistake after all. Has Roman Reigns versus LA Knight proven to be a mistake in the long run? Think about it. Working Roman Reigns these days is the biggest match you can have. So LA Knight has already had his biggest match and lost it. So what's left for him to build to? I'm not saying, LA Knight is buried, but do you think that Roman versus Knight should have maybe been held off for held off for later down the line? That being said, Knight likely getting paid more for that one match than most of us will see in a lifetime. Well, bro, if you watch wrestling, if you have any understanding or comprehension of booking, LA Knight is far from dead. Okay, now number one, here's right off the bat. Here's something they could do. Okay, you could have Miz upset Gunther. All right, because maybe one of his cronies screws up, the Leonardo da Vinci guy, because they're telling that story and everything, screws up and he costs in the match. All right, and you could go right back to Miz and LA Knight for the Intercontinental title, bro, because those guys have done great TV every single time they're on. You know, those are two good there was I saw a clip where Miz was he was being interviewed by maybe from it might have been the Chris Van Fleet guy or something, but somebody. And they were talking about the LA Knight angle. And Miz was like, he was like saying, yes, he was great to work with because you need to up your game because he brings it on the mic. So if you're a talented character, okay, and you're working with LA Knight, they got this new cat that's bringing it, and you have to up your game no matter where you are on the card, because if he eats you alive, let's be honest, the way LA Knight got over originally and kind of developed his fan base and people saw how good he was is, bro, he was going against Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt was supposed to be this great guy in the mic, and he ate him alive. People saw that. So all the guys in the back are looking at this going Bray Wyatt's getting eaten alive on the mic by who is this guy? I want to work with this guy. Now I got to bring him, which is why Roman worked with him. Which is why all these top guys are working with the guy, because he brings it on the mic, which just shows you how important mic work is. CM Punk, perfect example. He's not the most overly imposing guy or well built and everything, but he brings it on the mic. All these guys that bring it on the mic, it's it elevates everybody's game and it makes better TV. So LA Knight is not buried at all.
And not only that, LA Knight can bring it in the ring and he's safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Bro, everybody in now WWE can bring it in the ring. I mean, especially the men's side, it's hard to look at a guy and say, well, he shouldn't be on TV. Right. Everybody there should be on TV. So yeah, bro, he throws a good punch too. He looks like he can fight. So it's yeah. So I would say that. Joe, do you got any comment on LA Knight?
No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna find the bet right now. So that's why I'm muted.
Next is time out. There was a bet that I lost, but there was a bet afterwards that I won. All right, so I won my money back, and Conan just completely disavowed that.
That's not true. You lost twice.
Next is from also
doubled down and lost and still reneged.
Next is from all. Pull your mic down. Next is from also Garrison. This is the subject is too late to fix it. People are already always talking about overrated or underrated talent in the wrestling world, but I don't think the term underrated is better suited for anyone more than the New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are excellent wrestlers, but it really seems that when it comes to creative, they have an endless supply of bad luck. They were an angle with Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle, but then Riddle got himself fired in the middle of that. And they were in a feud with the Viking guys, and then one of them got a neck injury, so that got canceled. Plus, it's since come out that Woods versus Kingston versus Big E match was planned before Big E got that horrific injury. Plus, whatever happened with Woods' run as king. I hate to say it, but are these guys beyond him? They both have to be making great money, but really, when it comes to cutting costs, will WWE really want two guys making huge money, but only ever use to promote sponsors on the pay-per-views? I got a pretty direct response to this. Is, dude, they've kept him stuck in that cartoonish role, and there's been no evolution of their characters for like 5, 6, 7 years now. Like, they're literally like, they don't do the serial promotion stuff and everything, but they still have the trumpet and stuff, and and they're guys that I think they can evolve or do something different than the perception that everyone has of them. Would you agree with that, Conan?
Yep. What was the original question, though?
Well, I hate to say, are these guys are they done? It's basically what the guy's asking. Are they both creatively done? I'm saying like no, they're not. It's like but they need to evolve. Like their shtick has gotten old, and they're good workers. They got a lot of history. They were tag team champions for the longest ever until the Usos beat them. Kofi was a former world champion. They have a lot on their resume. But if they keep just doing the trumpet, keep acting funny skits and stuff, I think like everybody's just now what's happened is they're not in the A-list picture anymore. Like they're not contenders for the title. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yes, I kind of saw it. They gave him a really goofy gimmick because I remember when they first started to do their video packages before they came in. Remember when they were doing the video packages at the beginning, and they were seeing kind of like gospel,
right?
Okay, and I thought, wow, this is a JoJo gimmick, but they turned it around. They made it successful. They made it funny. I remember going to Dallas, to the WrestleMania in Dallas, and all I could hear was New Day rocks everywhere. All I saw was New Day shirts, and I was like, wow, these guys are about to explode. They hadn't really exploded on TV yet, but they were about to. So the machine understood, just like LA Knight, he's popular, let's put it behind him. But I just think that they've milked it as much as they've can. This has been like an 8-year gimmick, bro. They've milked it as much as they, or more. They milked it as much as they can, and it is time to evolve because they're very creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's almost 9 years now that you mention it, because I remember when they first put that together, I was at the Rumble in Philly. It was 2015. And anytime Kofi or Woods, they were just becoming the New Day when they came up for the Rumble. They were baby faces, but not in Philly,
And you know what was smart about them? That they catered to a lot of obviously black nerds, but nerds in general, which is a huge part of the wrestling landscape.